I've been catfished, I guess, where people are texting me and I'm like, hey, I need to see your face. You know, they're like asking for nudes or whatever. I'm like, I don't know who you are. Like, I need to see your face. This was years ago, babe. Years ago.
Bad dates.
And now it is time, finally, to get into the meat of the story. And we are beginning today with the very funny Justin Martindale.
So it was a nice summer evening. This was probably about like almost, I want to say 10 years ago.
Oh,
and,
a child. You were a baby.
No, I'll say like 7. Still am.
This story is going to get murky because you were illegal. It's underage at this point.
Yes. I was a child. I was being trafficked. So I went to the show. It was a show here in LA, and one of the lights was out front, and I met this guy, and the lighting was just good, and I was very inebriated, and we were talking. We kind of hit it off. We started making out, and then we exchanged numbers. And he was living in New York. I was in LA. So we were like, we're going to just do this bi-coastal long-distance fantasy. And one day, if destiny allows us, we will meet up again, right?
Wow.
We started talking regularly on the phone. And this was kind of before FaceTime kind of took off. So we were just like talking and flirting. And, you know, he started talking about like, so when are you going to come to New York? And well, I'll make this like great weekend for us. And I'm like, okay, sure. Yeah, let's make it happen. So finally, I want to say like November, maybe like a couple days before Thanksgiving, I got a flight, went out to New York, and I'm waiting at the airport for him to pick me up. And he shows up, and immediately I was like, Angela, I was like, oh
He's
no.
got a ball out. Yeah.
He had 3 of them out. He shows up, and I'm like, I don't know this person. Like, he didn't look like the guy that I had seen that night.
Do you think you got twin switched? Do you think?
Oh, I never thought about that.
You got parent trapped. Oh my God.
Yes, seriously, a twin catfish.
Yeah.
And so we went to his place in the financial district, and I remember there was, I guess some snow had fallen, and it was like
Huge
okay,
red flag already that he lives in the financial
I
district.
know.
See, I didn't know. And so we go into his apartment, and I'm looking at his place, and I'm like, oh, this is really weird. He had like a trench coat that was nailed to the wall. And I was like, what is that? And he was like, well, I love musical theater. And I'm like, shit. Like immediately, because I'm not like a big musical theater.
But
gay.
as if that's a logical response.
Yeah, what musical is that referencing? The trench coat nailed to a wall.
I am so glad you asked, because he had stolen Lea Michele's trench coat when she was Eponine in Les Mis.
Oh my God.
Well, he just shot up in my estimation, I gotta say.
Nailed it to his wall. Like, it wasn't even in a frame. It was just a trench coat crucified to the wall. So I'm like, oh, okay. And he had like a whole bunch of like other little Broadway knickknacks.
He didn't have time to
and
steal a
like,
frame. What was the issue?
Steal a frame. Like, do something. Like, what? It looks weird. And so we had not done anything sexual. Like, we're literally just laying in this bed while I'm just like staring at Lea Michele's trench coat and thinking, how do I get out of this? We hadn't made any moves on each other. We hadn't even like kissed. It was just very, very, very awkward. And then finally he's like, I have a surprise for you. I got us tickets to go see Wicked. And I'd never seen Wicked. And it starts out and it's all grand and everything. And then I realized like I'm hearing something that's not part of the show. And so I look over and he is belting every song like he is in the show, like every song. And I'm mortified. I'm sitting there and I'm like, shut the fuck up. To the point where one of the flying monkeys in one of the numbers looks at us and hushes us.
To be hushed by a flying monkey? By chistery?
Hushed by a flying monkey. Yeah.
I can't.
hushed by a flying monkey, which is not a CBS sitcom. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, the flying monkey's looking at you like, be more civilized, please. Like,
Seriously.
Returns to
Like-
screeching, jumping around.
I'm like, you have to shut up. And he's like, okay, sorry. It's like my favorite musical. I've seen it like 800 times. And I'm like, okay, well, I've never seen it. So shut the fuck up.
So in my head, I'm like, does he sing every time or is it for you? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
that's a
have
good
no
question.
idea. He was just like,
Who was the
like, he
performance for?
Exactly. He was trying to like show off. Like, I
Was
know
it
the
for you,
words.
or was he hoping a casting director was in the audience? And
Probably so.
probably.
We went and saw Bring It On as well, and I don't remember that musical. It was so bad. It was just I couldn't do it.
Wow.
But the same thing. And he was just like, curtain call came out, and he was like, Natalie,
Oh.
Natalie, yes. And I'm
I've
just
been
like,
sending you the packages. I've been sending
Yeah.
you packages, Natalie.
he's like, girl, you nailed it, girl. And like Natalie's not even like looking. Like
shit.
it was awful. And I just got the hell out of there, and I was like, never again. And that was it.
And it's funny too. It's ironic that "How Do I Leave" is such a beautiful Broadway song.
How do I leave without you? I want to know.
And did you ever hear from this man again?
No, I didn't. But I mean, can I get a little dark?
Oh boy.
Please.
Oh, no.
He died.
You tell us that after we've been riffing on him, making fun of him for 5 minutes?
I got like a memory on Facebook, and I was like, oh yeah, that guy. And I clicked, and it was like, this is like an in memoriam like account now. And I was like, oh no. But I will say, because I knew him, I have been changed for good. So
Wow.
Fuck you.
Wow.
Fuck you.
Oh.
Do you know if he died doing what he loved, stealing
let's
Broadway
hope.
memorabilia?
Let's hope. I don't know.
I wonder who got the Leah Michelle trench.
I know, right? Who got that in the estate sale?
He probably was trying to sneak backstage and get something from Funny Girl, and Leah Michelle stand her ground laws, shot him.
Yeah, I know.
This is so dark. We have to stop.
Jesus.